Imagine this. You wake up one morning and the news doesn't tell you what happened. It tells you what you should have thought about it. You reach for a book published decades ago, hoping for an escape, only to realize the fictional world it describes isn't a distant, totalitarian state with boot-shaped flags and omnipresent posters. It's your world. It's right now. You're scrolling through a feed engineered not to inform you, but to addict you. You watch a speech by a leader where the words no longer need to match the facts, only the feeling. And in the quiet of your own mind, you catch yourself thinking in the slogans you saw online, unable to remember the last time you had a thought that was truly, defiantly your own. This is the dark prophecy of George Orwell's 1984. But it's not a prophecy anymore. It's a diagnosis. The common understanding of Orwell's masterpiece is that it's a warning about a future where the government watches you through the telescreen, a dystopia of chains and concentration camps. But that's a comfortable lie we tell ourselves. The real warning is far more sinister, far more subtle, and it's not about chains. It's about the stories we willingly consume. Orwell wasn't just terrified of the boot stamping on a human face forever. He was terrified of a world where no one can even agree on what a human face is anymore. He saw a future where truth isn't killed. It's simply redefined until it ceases to exist. And the terrifying question he forces us to ask is this: if the past can be erased, memory can be gaslit, and language can be stripped of meaning, what is left of you? The book doesn't just predict a political system. It predicts the death of your inner reality. And the machinery for that death is already humming quietly in your pocket, waiting for you to look away one last time. If this chilling glimpse into Orwell's world made you feel something uncomfortable, something true, then hit that subscribe button now, because we're just getting started with the realities they don't want you to see. Orwell understood something that most political thinkers of his time missed entirely. He saw that power doesn't ultimately come from guns or prisons or secret police. Those are just tools. Real power comes from controlling what people believe is true. And the deepest form of power comes from controlling what people believe could be true, the very structure of acceptable thought itself. This is the hidden problem Orwell diagnosed, the slow, silent erosion of objective reality. He created the concept of double-think, the ability to hold two contradictory beliefs in your mind simultaneously and accept both. The party slogan says it all. War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. We laugh at the absurdity, but look closer. Watch how news anchors now frame political losses as moral victories. Watch how corporations sell you freedom by locking you into subscriptions. Watch how social media convinces you that endless scrolling is connection, that performing your life is living it. Orwell saw that if you can control language, you control thought. If certain words disappear, the concepts behind them disappear too. That's why Newspeak in 1984 wasn't just about simplifying language. It was about making heresy literally unthinkable, because there would be no words to express it. Today, we don't need a ministry of truth. We have algorithms that curate our realities into personalized bubbles where uncomfortable facts simply don't appear. We have hashtags that replace nuanced arguments. We have slogans that stand in for thinking. The hidden problem isn't that we're being lied to. It's that we're losing the very tools to recognize a lie when we see one. Walk into any room where people are staring at their phones, and you're witnessing the first consequence Orwell feared: the death of the private self. In 1984, Winston Smith desperately seeks a private corner, a space away from the telescreen where he can think his own thoughts. Today, we carry the telescreen in our palms. We voluntarily surrender our inner lives for validation in the form of likes. The consequence isn't that they are watching us. It's that we've stopped watching ourselves. Orwell foresaw a world where history is rewritten daily to serve the needs of the present. But he couldn't have predicted that we'd do it to ourselves for free. A politician contradicts last week's statement. We don't hold them accountable. We simply forget. A cultural narrative shifts overnight. We rewrite our own memories to fit the new story. This is doublethink made flesh, believing two contradictory things because the mental effort to resolve them is too exhausting. The deeper consequence is the death of shared reality. When truth becomes whatever feels true to your tribe, when facts are filtered through partisan algorithms, when every news source confirms your existing biases, society doesn't just fracture. It becomes impossible. You can't have democracy without shared facts. You can't have relationships without shared reality. You can't even have a meaningful argument because you're no longer arguing about the same world. Orwell saw this coming. A world where truth isn't hidden, it's irrelevant. And the scariest part? Most of us don't even notice it's gone. If you want to understand how these forces are shaping your life right now, smash that like button and drop a comment below. Do you think we're closer to Orwell's vision than we realize? If Orwell's diagnosis is grim, his prescription is almost terrifying in its simplicity. He offers no grand revolution, no uprising against the system. Instead, he points to something far more fragile and far more powerful: the preservation of inner freedom. In the novel's most haunting passage, Winston believes he is about to be tortured by the thing he fears most: rats. But O'Brien, his torturer, corrects him with a chilling truth. We do not destroy the heretic because he resists us. We destroy him because he does not resist us. We destroy him because we have won. The resolution Orwell offers is not about overthrowing power. It's about refusing to let power inside your head. Winston's ultimate defeat isn't his physical breaking. It's his moment of final betrayal. He doesn't just confess. He genuinely comes to love Big Brother. The horror isn't the pain. It's the moment his mind surrenders and actually believes the lies. Orwell's prescription is radical intellectual integrity. It's the painful daily discipline of holding on to what you know to be true, even when it's inconvenient, even when everyone around you believes something else, even when believing it costs you something. It's preserving the ability to say 2 + 2 = 4 when the whole world insists it's 5. This isn't activism. It's not posting or protesting. It's quieter and harder. It's the commitment to think your own thoughts, to question your own certainties, to recognize when your language has been borrowed rather than earned. The path to resolution runs through your own mind, and it demands that you never, ever surrender it. Here is the revelation that haunts readers decades after closing the book. Orwell wasn't ultimately warning us about tyrants. He was warning us about ourselves. The final, unbearable truth of 1984 is that Winston Smith isn't broken by Big Brother's cruelty. He's broken by his own need to belong. In the end, he doesn't just submit. He finds peace in submission. He looks at the poster of the man with the mustache and genuinely feels love. The system wins not because it's strong, but because human beings cannot bear to be truly alone. This is the paradigm shift Orwell demands. We tell ourselves we would resist the boot stamping on a human face. But would we resist the warm embrace of belonging? Would we reject the comfort of having our reality completely defined for us? Of never having to think for ourselves again? The party in 1984 offers Winston exactly what he's always secretly wanted: release from the burden of his own mind. Orwell's ultimate truth is that freedom is exhausting. Thinking is painful. Holding on to truth in a world that rewards lies is lonely work. And that's precisely why it's sacred. The novel ends not with a revolution, but with a quiet surrender. And that's more terrifying than any explosion, because it forces you to look in the mirror and ask, when my moment comes, when the pressure is on, when the world demands I believe what isn't true, will I hold fast? Or will I, too, learn to love the boot pressing against my face forever? The answer isn't in the book. It's in you, right now.